Welcome back to Morning Edition. Thanks for staying with us. The government, the Trinidad and Tobago government that is, recently signaled its intention to establish a vibrant shipbuilding and repair industry in the country as a means of diversifying our economy from the energy sector. The Shipbuilding and Repair Development Company of Trinidad and Tobago received a letter of endorsement from the Labre community and other interested persons as a first step in establishing a world-class shipyard at Labre. Chairman and CEO of that company, Wilfred de Gans, and General Counsel of the Consulate for Panama, Cesar Gomez, are our guests in studio. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Felipe.
Bienvenido, caballero. ¿Cómo está?
Mucho gusto, un placer.
Encantado. Good
Buenos
morning.
días.
Okay, tell us about I remember that you were making presentations during the stakeholders meetings for the budget, and you were asking for special consideration for shipbuilding as a new industry and shipbuilding and repair in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell us what you see as the scope. Is this going to now replace the Alutron smelter in Labre as a new industry that's going to generate employment and skills, industry and commerce in the south of the country?
Well, Felipe, one of the alternatives the government is considering for Labre as a replacement for the smelter at Labre is shipbuilding and repair. The government has been quite supportive, as is mentioned, through the Ministry of Finance. Shipbuilding and repair was mentioned in great detail in the national budget, and also the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has supported the idea, and this is part of the diversification trust that is so much needed in our country at this time. As you know, we have a limited amount of natural resources in terms of our oil and gas, so it's important that we look at alternatives for the energy sector.
Of course, you know, that's part of the whole diversification of the economy. Now, I'm looking at you, Mr. de Gans. You look like a pretty young man, and I congratulate you on being a chairman and CEO of this company. What kind of experience does the company have in shipbuilding to give us confidence that it's going to be a successful enterprise?
Well, the company is supported by some 35 local and international stakeholder companies involved in all different areas of shipbuilding and repair here in Trinidad. For example, we have the Demas Group, we have Trackmark Engineering, which is part of the Neela Massey Group, we have Olson Shipping, which is part of the Olson's Anza Makal Group, and everybody contributes and shares their ideas, and that's the whole idea of having a cluster.
Okay, so it's in keeping with the whole discussion about Michael Porter and cluster economics competitiveness, that's the direction you're going in. Now, and I wouldn't say ambassador, Councillor
Yes.
Gomez, tell us about what the market potential for this new industry in Trinidad is, and why Panama is so interested, and what importance it holds for the development of this industry in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, the idea is that they are looking to see how the expansion of the Panama Canal will impact all the maritime economics around the region. Of course, I understand that we talked before that Trinidad is not considered a maritime economy, but probably that's the alternative to diversify their economy. With the canal expanded, we are sure that the increase, our plan is to double.
So you're going to be doubling the current capacity?
The running capacity of the canal with expansion. That's the first factor that we are sure.
When is that supposed to take place?
The inauguration of the new line, the third line, is going to be in the August 15, 2014. That's our goal. Mm-hmm. So that will create an impact, and based on Trinidad, because everybody saw the studies how the impact is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico and the United States, the east coast of the United States, but downstairs by the south, there are the three main ports that fit the south from the Atlantic, the Buenos Aires, Montevideo, and Santos in Brazil. So that creates a line of movement that passed to Trinidad. Mm-hmm. Through Trinidad.
So this will hopefully open up trade routes between ourselves and South America and the western side of the continent.
And when you have that kind of movements around of big ships, somebody has to stop in the gas station to fill gas and to repair your car. So that's part of the opportunity that Trinidad now has that vision to take advantage in advance. No?
Thank you. 2014, it seems like it's a long way far away, but it's not that far. What are you doing to prepare to build this industry to be able to take advantage so that the timing, in business it's always a question of timing. There's the capital you have to invest, mobilize, the return on your investment. What are you doing to ensure that you are ready and that the timing is tightly coordinated for the opening up of this doubling of the capacity of the Panama Canal and your own ability to maximize these new trade routes from shipbuilding?
One of the initiatives we are looking at in 2011 is establishment of a shipyard at Labre. We talk about a world-class shipyard that will be able to accommodate not only the Panamax-sized vessels, but what we call the new Panamax size, which are vessels some 366 meters in length by 49 meters wide. You know, so therefore we have made representations with the government on this matter, and it's receiving favorable consideration. Recently, the Minister of Trade and Industry has mandated us to put out what we call a request for proposals, because they want to invite companies outside of our cluster to be part of this initiative at Labre. So far to date, we have received some 33 letters of interest from companies, local and internationally, wanting to be involved in this serious diversification initiative.
In the previous government, there were several plans that, about building a dry dock. How does but that was closer to Port of Spain. How does this shipbuilding and repair facility that you're building in Labre relate to, if at all, the previous plans of the past government?
Well, basically, Felipe, the more dry docks and more capacity to repair ocean-going ships is required. For example, Singapore, they have some 80 licensed shipyards, and out of the 80 shipyards, they employ some 141,000 employees, and they generate annually some 9.4 billion United States dollars. So the question is, our cluster is looking at more than one shipyard at the end of the day. So, for example, we have a company, Trinidad Dry Dock. They have expressed their interest with the previous administration with regards to setting up an offshore island known as Sullivan Island, which is to be built.
And you're going to create an island?
Yes, something like what happens in Dubai. But however, with Labre, there's infrastructure already in place. So it offers an easy
So wait a
jump
minute,
start.
sorry, let me just stop you a second. The creation of this island was under the past administration.
Correct.
That hasn't been embraced by this administration.
Well, I won't say that, you know, it's a continuation of what has been presented.
I'm just imagining the cost. It sounds like it would be astronomical to build an island.
Yes, well, you have to understand we live on an island, and shoreside space is very hard and difficult to find. So with Trinidad Dry Dock, they have approached it in the sense that if we create a landmass outside of the port of Port of Spain, this could provide an opportunity for them, you know.
What kind of cost are we talking about? What kind of cost are we talking about to build up, to ramp up to be able to have the capacity to deal with the new shipping that's coming that Councillor Gomez mentioned in terms of people, you know, ships coming to Trinidad to refuel, to repair their vessels, etc.?
Well, as the case with Labre, we have looked at the possibility of using the existing deepwater port that is controlled by the National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. Our stakeholders have indicated not only wanting to acquire the existing infrastructure, but also to expand it. The costs we're looking at initially is some 300 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars to do this, because there's the great demand to repair ships, as I said, the post-Panamax size ships.
Okay, but that's to sort of prep it to have the capacity to do the repair. What about the actual construction of new ships?
Well, for example, ships that we are looking at is like the tugboat, the smaller size ships that we use here in Trinidad and around the region. Even in Panama, there's need for small tugboats for use in the new...
Usually the new construction market is dominated by Asia. No? The new construction, there are China, Japan, and Korea. That's the three major new construction. But the market of repairs and small construction to fulfill the requirement of the region, that's their vision of the idea. I think that Trinidad has a very key geographical position. That's why our country decided to open the General and Merchant Marine Consulate here to provide the service to the region. And everything in the maritime sector is related with one thing with the other. So that's why we think that the idea is a good idea. We have to work in advance. Actually, the The Panama Maritime Authority and the Panama Canal Authority has been signing memorandum of understanding with different countries and different ports and different authorities, national authorities, in order to keep providing constantly information that could help the countries to develop their own maritime strategy in order to fulfill requirements like this one, for example, to ship repair. So that's one of our goals in this new year, establishing a more close relation in the maritime terms and condition topics factor, talking about maritime between the two countries.
Okay, coming back to how it's going to benefit the, you mentioned it, the cost $300 million. How many jobs are going to be created?
At Labrie, we're looking at some 2,000 jobs.
Sustainable jobs or just construction jobs?
Sustainable, and also with the construction of the dry dock, we anticipate a huge demand for employment opportunities. Not only skilled jobs we're talking here, but construction related as well as unskilled jobs would be created by setting up this industry at Labrie.
How closely are you working with the Institute for Marine Affairs in terms of developing the human resource capacity, in terms of the skilled labor that you're going to need to make this a viable enterprise?
Well, we're working with the Ministry of Science and Technology and Tertiary Education. They're developing vocational training programs. Also, the Arthur Lockjack Institute at Mount Hope.
The business school?
Yes, they have recently launched their master's program in port and maritime management studies. So this offers opportunities for nationals as well as regional counterparts to be part of this industry. And shipbuilding and repair training would be offered in this course.
So these are some exciting new economic developments taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to commend you and wish you the best in terms of your endeavors, getting this up off the ground, creating new opportunities for employment and training for our people, new industry, diversification of our economy. We're grateful to have a more experienced maritime partner in Panama working with us. As we say, muchas gracias por todo su apoyo. And thank you very much for joining us. We wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We've been speaking with Wilfred de Gans, the CEO and chairman of the Maritime, it's called the Shipbuilding and Repair Development Company. And they're going to be based in Labrie, Trinidad. And we also have been speaking with Mr. Cesar Gomez, the consulate from Panama. Stay with Morning Edition. We'll be back.